Welcome to the D&D Morning Show. Got another episode coming at ya.
Boom, boom, bing.
I thought we were done with that.
I can't help it.
I thought we were so over that.
Should be. Boom, boom, bing.
Oh boy. Moving on.
What do we got? Fun fact.
Fun fact. You were going to talk about my cold hands.
Oh, Dorothy's cold hands. Dorothy has like some kind of circulation problem.
I don't.
Where her hands are like ice cold.
I don't have a circulation problem.
It seems like it feels like she holds them in the freezer. Then when she touches you, she's like, ah!
He overreacts though. I just like have a little bit of cold hand and I go like this and he freaks out.
It's not a little bit of cold hand. It's not all the time.
No.
It's just a good majority of the time. And something's going on. It could be cold outside or cool outside or I don't know, just random. And she'll like
random.
touch me and I'm like, ah!
Literally, he's not joking. That's how it happens.
It's that cold.
Yeah, so sometimes it's a little game for me.
Oh, see that? She hasn't admitted this to me before. She does it on purpose.
Sometimes I'm like, ooh, I got some cold hands. Anyway, that's what happens.
All right, so today, why don't you tell them what's going on in the show today?
Sure. We're going to start off with something a little bit more controversial. We're going to talk about sugar because we often get the question, well, is a sugar a sugar? So we were going to touch base on natural sugars versus artificial sugars, refined sugar, da 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 da.
Sugar.
We're going to talk about that. Then we'll get into a product, which is our, I say this wrong, I say majuli dates, but that's not how they're called. How are they called?
How do you get majuli out of that?
That's in my brain how it reads it, so that's how it comes out.
It's a tough word. Majul? Pretty sure they're majul dates.
Majul dates, but I like it. Majuli.
How do you get majuli from?
Majuli. And I got a snack recipe, and then we'll end off with a quote. That's what we're up to.
Let's do it.
So let's dive into the sugar. You start us off.
Oh, that's me. Go.
Yes.
Go.
Push. Play.
Sugar.
Now.
All right. So sugar processes differently in your body. I mean, if you're going to abuse something like sugar, and you can abuse it, like sugar is a drug. So sugar is highly addictive. It's detrimental to our health. It's in everything, and we don't. It's crazy to me like that they can just put sugar in everything. But to me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to put more sugar in, because sugar's in everything.
Sugar.
Right. So we put sugar in our coffee, but there's sugar in just about everything during the day. Like you could have we'll get into this in a second here, but cleaner sugars, like from fruit, for example. Then you have synthetic types of sugars or refined sugars that are in juices, for example, or pop. Like, so if you have a can of Coke, you're drinking sugar.
Liquid sugar.
Right, but then, what's kind of crazy to me is that we put like spoonfuls of sugar on top of that in our coffee, for example. And it like just doesn't make any sense to me because sugar is everywhere. We don't need more sugar.
No.
You don't need to add it. So I guess the easiest thing to say is sugar's not a sugar. Not all sugars are created equally, and not all of them do the same thing to our body. So it's important to understand that first of all, and then to avoid sugar as often as possible.
Yes.
And
What you're meaning when you say that, refined sugar.
avoid refined sugar, and then when you can, look for better quality types of sugar. So what are some better quality types of sugar?
In our baking and all of our complete truth protein recipes and our baking recipes, we use honey, maple syrup are kind of our go-to sweeteners. And then we also use fruit in a variety of different recipes as well to sweeten. So bananas, for example, and applesauce, for example. So we use those as well to sweeten our baking.
And medjool dates.
And majuli dates. And dates we use as a sweetener. Drew and I often use dates in smoothies, for example, as a natural sweetener.
Right.
And we'll get into dates in a minute because there's tons of health benefits of dates. So back to sugar.
So when it comes to sugar, look for sources. For example, like you want to avoid those fruit juice boxes from concentrate. That's sugar. Then we have like pops. We talked about pop or soda is a sugar, like it's all sugar. And what else do we have that's in sugar? Like boxes of cereal, for example. Almost always the first. We always look at the top 3 ingredients.
Yeah.
And if sugar's in there, then the majority of it is sugar. So how those work is they put in whatever's the most of the ingredient, they have to put that in first. So if it's sugar, they have the most ingredient is sugar, then they might have like corn. Then then there's a little bit less of sugar, but then they put in corn. Then they have like hydrogenated oils. So there's less than that, but that's the next most. Am I explaining that right?
Yeah, I think so. Just the order of the ingredients is from most to least.
Right, as they list the ingredients.
As they list the ingredients.
Right.
And another thing, as you were talking, I was thinking about those packaged snacks full of sugar. The granola bars, the fruit snacks, the
fruit snacks
fruit
is a good
snacks
one.
gets me because they will put, what did they put, natural fruit flavor or something on there?
Natural flavors.
Or something like that on there. So in your mind, you're thinking that you're getting real fruit, but it's not. It's not.
It's not real fruit.
No.
So when you look at those type of products, there's artificial flavors, which is usually MSG, preservatives, then gets translated or related to toxins and things our bodies can't utilize, digest, absorb, just doesn't recognize it. Like, what are you doing to me? And there's all kinds of health related, not benefits, but it's the opposite. Reactions towards coloring, like red coloring is a big one. You see that in ketchup all the time.
Yes.
And then kids, for example, eat tons of ketchup because they love it. And kids, the correlation between the health issues in children go up all the time. Like we have children types of issues like diabetes, for example, obesity, heart issues that we've never had before that we have now. And we don't look at these things that are right in front of us all the time. So that's important to understand.
Yeah. Did you want to get into, I don't know how to call them, but like fake sugars or toxic? What are those called?
Yeah, I just call them synthetic sugars. Like
sugars.
aspartame, for example. Yeah. We're not a fan. What's the other ones that you put in coffee? Like 1-in-1?
Yeah, there's all kinds of different ones. Are we allowed to name names?
Okay.
So there's like Sweet and Low, there's like
Equalize.
Yeah, I can't even remember. There is a really common one, and now I can't even think about it.
Yeah, we don't know them because we don't use them. Or recommend them.
Yeah.
Like stevia would be a good option for if it comes to those powders. Just understand it's not the same. It's not so when people say, "Oh, I don't like stevia," a lot of time if you put 2 tablespoons of sugar in your coffee, they take 2 tablespoons of stevia and put in their coffee and treat it the same as the same product. They're like, it tastes horrible.
Yeah.
It's a very different product. So understand that stevia is a recommended source for us. Xylitol is another one that's safer or cleaner. And the rest are natural, like you mentioned. Like you have your, actually agave is another one that we recommend staying away from. There's just a whole lot of controversy around it right now. It used to be labeled, not too long ago, it was labeled a health food product. Now all kinds of new research is coming out. And I think by staying away from that stuff altogether, it's kind of like an excuse, being like, oh, they change their minds all the time, I'm not doing anything healthy.
Yeah.
And I think that's a bit of an excuse. Like there's new research around everything just because of the knowledge and technology that we have. So if you find new information out, then change your way of living.
You progress or change along with it.
That's right. So yeah, I think that's good with sugar.
Well, let's get into talking about dates. Julie dates. So Drew and I consume dates every day on a regular basis. Not many, 1 or 2 maybe a day, but they're full of health benefits. Energy is the biggest one that I can see in myself. And something else in regards to the bathroom. There's lots of fiber, so it helps keep you regular. And there's tons of vitamins, minerals, just these little things are jam-packed full of nutrients.
A lot of times when people go on fasts, they will only have like dates like after or maybe even during. I don't know if that's considered a fast. We don't do too much around those types of fasts or cleanses, but because of the nutrient value, that's what helps your body get back into food from dates. So
interesting.
That's worth noting. But there's a lot of different nutrients. We use it for sweeteners, for example, for a good clean, and that's what we're talking about when sugar isn't they're not all created equally. So you can get a good clean sugar that processes differently, that your body can burn off, utilize, turn into energy, as opposed to a refined sugar where your body actually puts fat cells around that sugar because it doesn't know what to do with it. It can't burn it off, it can't digest it. It actually protects it because it's protecting your body from it, trying to figure out what to do with it.
That's crazy. to
Very
me.
crazy.
Yeah.
So
I was just gonna say something. Another thing that I read about dates is it can also help you in the bedroom.
is that
Yeah!
we getting a little excited there?
Increases your sexual stamina, I read once before. So, interesting fact about dates. Thought some might want to know that.
So this is just one of the packages. Unfortunately, they all come in plastic.
Yeah.
Sweet. You can get them. I've found some in bulk, but then you have to order like huge boxes of them. But again, these are medjool dates. They're usually bigger in size, and they're softer.
Soft.
So when we've had some people say they've tried it in baking or in smoothies and it doesn't really blend up. So a couple things you can do is, well, buy them fresh and they're soft. Like, I don't know how much you guys can see this, but I'm going to squish it.
You can.
It's very squishy and
very soft.
And it just opens up and there's a pit inside. Of course, you want to take the pit out.
Yeah.
But this is what it looks like. And sometimes Dorothy uses this as a little snack. She puts peanut butter in the middle.
You're stealing my recipe.
Was this the recipe?
That's my recipe.
Oh.
You can tell the recipe if you want, but
Well, I just wanted to finish that. If these dates, like if that's something you want to use in baking, if you have the smaller ones, I don't know, maybe they're cheaper.
I don't know.
I don't know why people buy them.
We just always have bought the medjool dates.
So they're bigger, they're softer, and you can use them in smoothies or baking easier. So if you're not buying the big ones or if you have the hard ones, you can soak them in water overnight or hot water.
You gotta really work the dates a bit. You gotta work along with them. So what I mean is by that is throw them in the blender, but pulse a few times gently, slowly pulse the blender instead of just flipping it on high speed, and they're not gonna blend that way.
This is for baking, right?
This is if you wanna make them into a paste for baking.
Right.
Yeah.
For smoothies, you throw them in.
Yeah.
And they should be this soft. They should blend up quite nice.
But in smoothies, you put 1, maybe 2.
Right.
If you're using for baking, you probably use 10,
Like
right?
a cup of them. Okay.
And then you'll have to scrape down the sides and do that process quite a few times, probably 3 to 5 times.
It takes some effort.
It takes some time, but so worth it. It's one of my favorites, dates.
Tell us what recipe you got.
Ooh, it's a snack recipe.
I kind of
spoiled it a bit. It's funny because sometimes if I'm feeling low energy, this is what I'll do. I'll take the date and split it in half like Drew's done, and I'll just dip it in peanut butter, and then it really does give you energy boost. And it kind of fights that little craving, not craving, like if you're on the verge of hangry, you know? So sometimes I come home from work and we're not quite ready to prepare supper yet, but I'm gonna be hungry real quick. So I'll pop a couple dates and that'll kind of tide me over till supper. But the recipe, so split the date. I'm just talking a mile a minute here, I'm sorry. So split the date in half and you just put peanut butter in the middle, or almond butter. And if you really wanna jazz it up, you slice a banana, so it goes date, then peanut butter, banana, sprinkle a little cinnamon. Oh my, little bites of heaven.
Delicious. There's so many health benefits to that little boost of it, like energy ball.
Yeah.
Booster.
Yeah.
Like the cinnamon, the banana, and the peanut butter. Oh, you got everything in that little bite. And it does, see, when we were talking earlier about sugars, like different sugars process differently in your body. So that energy, that little bite of date has tons of good quality sugar that your body turns into energy quickly. So that's why you get that instant energy boost.
Yeah.
So if we were to look at dates, for example, instead of an energy drink, we'd be so much healthier. Yeah. We'd feel better. We'd improve our digestion, and we wouldn't have to worry about that crash either.
Yeah, I get so excited. I love dates. So yummy.
We have a quote?
Yeah. I forget what it is. I'm gonna look here what we have for a quote. Ooh, this is one of my, a new favorite. I have so many favorites.
What you got?
But it is, fill your life with the light of positivity. I liked that one.
It's a good one.
Drew actually took a really cool picture recently and posted on social media of our lilac bush, and there was this light, like this natural sunlight. It was the morning, peeking through the lilac bush. And I just thought that quote went so well.
Just went beautifully
with
together.
that picture, yeah. So.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. And we always appreciate you guys coming in and see what we're doing. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, catch you later.